Today, we're diving into a topic that's really important, but also one that's often kept in the shadows, the connection between Islam and depression. We're going to explore why it can be so tough to talk about, but also how it connects to this incredible, powerful tradition of healing that honestly, many of us have just forgotten. Let's get into it. Have you ever heard something like this before? Yeah, it's a phrase that gets thrown around a lot in our communities, and it creates this really painful wall of shame and isolation. The idea that feeling depressed is just a sign of weak faith. Well, it's not just hurtful. It's also, as we're about to find out, just not true.
And this is what things get really interesting. What if I told you that the whole just pray more idea actually goes against a 1,000-year-old legacy of deep psychological insight and compassionate care? A legacy that's literally woven into the fabric of Islamic history. It's time to bring that forgotten tradition back into the light.
To really get this, we've got to travel back in time, way before modern psychiatry. Back in the Islamic Golden Age, you had Muslim scholars and physicians were making these huge, groundbreaking discoveries about the human mind. See, for them, faith and mental science, they weren't two different things. They were seen as deeply connected paths to being well.
We're talking about figures who were just light years ahead of their time. Get this. In the 9th century, a scholar named Al-Balkhi was writing what were basically the world's first ever self-help books on psychology. Around that same time, Al-Razi wasn't just writing about mental health, he was building one of the first psychiatric wards in the world. And then you have Ibn Sina, whose canon of medicine was so revolutionary it became the medical textbook in Europe for more than 600 years. It's incredible.
Okay, this is what I think is just mind-blowing. More than 1,000 years ago, Al-Balkhi was already making a distinction between two types of depression. One, he said, was caused by things happening to you, external events, and the other seemed to come from inside, from our own biology. That is shockingly similar to how modern psychiatry talks about situational versus clinical depression. He even suggested different treatments. For one, talk therapy, and for the other, medicine. Just wow.
So where did this incredibly holistic view come from? Well, while a lot of modern psychology focuses on the brain, the Islamic tradition points to a different center of gravity for our well-being, the spiritual heart, the health of the soul.
And right at the core of this tradition is the concept of the qalb, or the spiritual heart. Now, we're not talking about the physical organ that pumps blood. Think of it more like the core of our consciousness, the seat of our emotions. The idea is that everything we do, think, and feel can either polish this spiritual heart or cloud it over. So things like depression or anxiety, they're seen as signs that the heart is unwell. And the goal isn't just to treat the brain, but to purify and heal this spiritual core.
So how do you go about healing the heart? One of the most important tools is Sabr. Now, patience is how it's usually translated, but that word sounds so passive, like you're just sitting around waiting for things to get better. Sabr is the exact opposite. It's active. It's a resilient strength. It's this deep trust that every single challenge you face has a purpose. It's like a spiritual muscle. The more you use it through life's tough spots, the stronger your soul gets.
And this idea comes straight from the Quran. It tells believers to seek help using both patience and prayer. And then it ends with this powerful reassurance: Allah is with the patient. That one line changes everything. It turns sabr from something you have to do all alone into a journey you're taking with divine support right by your side.
Now, the other side of that coin, the companion to Sabr, is Shukr, or deep gratitude. And again, this is way more than just saying thank you. It's an active practice. It's about training yourself to find gratitude in every single thing, the good, the bad, and even the boring everyday stuff, trusting that each one has a lesson or a hidden blessing inside. It's a pretty radical shift in perspective.
And the Quran makes this powerful promise that directly links gratitude to getting relief. It's almost like a spiritual law of cause and effect. The act of being grateful literally becomes the thing that brings you more blessings. It can shift your entire outlook from one of scarcity and lack to one of abundance and hope.
So you might be thinking, okay, this ancient wisdom is great, but how does it help me now? Well, it's not just history. These ideas are being brought into modern, evidence-based therapy right now, creating new ways for Muslims to heal that really resonate with their faith.
A really cool example of this is something called Islamically Integrated Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, or CBTIC. It takes the proven framework of CBT but anchors it in Islamic values. So, you start by identifying a negative thought, like, I am worthless. But instead of just using logic to fight it, you challenge it with Quranic truths, reminders of God's mercy, and the fact that every person has inherent worth. And from there, you build healthier beliefs that you can reinforce with practices like prayer or reflection.
But for any of this to work, one thing is absolutely crucial. The environment has to feel safe. The relationship with the therapist is everything. You have to be able to talk about the things you're most embarrassed about without ever feeling like you're being judged for having weak faith. You need a therapist who sees your faith not as the problem, but as a key part of the solution, a powerful tool for your healing.
So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, the Islamic tradition gives us this amazing, holistic toolkit that takes care of the mind, the body, and the soul. And believe me, it's about so much more than just being told to pray more.
And this toolkit is super practical. It's about fighting that feeling of being alone by finding your community. It's about seeking shura, or good counsel, from wise people and professionals. It's about taking care of your body, what you eat, getting outside in nature. It's about building structure into your day with routines anchored by prayer. And it's about taking action, empowering you to actually change your situation with your own two hands.
Let's just zoom in on one of these for a second. Dhikr, the remembrance of God. This isn't just a spiritual exercise. It has real, tangible psychological benefits. The rhythm of it can literally lower your stress hormones. It pulls you into the present moment, just like mindfulness meditation. It builds gratitude and strengthens your resilience by connecting you to a source of infinite comfort and strength. It's powerful stuff. And if there's one single message to take away from all of this, let it be this one. The Quran makes this incredible promise, and it repeats it twice, just to make sure you get it. But notice the wording. It doesn't say relief comes after the difficulty. It says it comes with the difficulty. It suggests that relief isn't some far-off destination, but that it's woven right into the fabric of the struggle itself. That is a truly radical message of hope.
So we've looked at this forgotten history, these deep spiritual ideas, and how they're being used today. We know that a rich, compassionate tradition for mental wellness is right there at the heart of Islam. So the only real question left is the one for us. How can we reclaim this legacy of healing for ourselves and for our communities so that reaching out for help is never again seen as a failure of faith, but as its greatest expression? Thanks for watching.